Good, now that you insta-passed Blowfish and successfully did not softlock your game, you want to hop back into the taxi and head over to Sal, where you're going to pick the next mission, which is Blowfish Part 1. This is not actually a real mission, it's just a cutscene that you have to skip. After this you have to head down to 8 Ball, and we are going to do that by performing the infamous drop. You want to get into a Mafia Sentinel, line up with the cliff. You have to develop your own reference point for this. I just drive over and hope everything is okay. After you get this drop, you just park your car near the marker, get into the marker twice. The first thing is just 8 Ball telling you that you need some money, and the second time is the mission starting if you have that amount of money. Don't worry, you're gonna get everything back. Now get into the car, or just wait for 8 Ball to come near you and then get into the car. This way you can save some time, and instead of taking the normal route like a normal playthrough on the streets, you're just gonna take this tunnel which heads right into the docks. And don't worry to run over those hobos because they don't matter. After you get to the end of the tunnel, just head over to the docks, take this shortcut, make sure you don't flip the car or something else, and it should be fine. When you're in the marker, make sure you don't drift too much and fall into the water. After this dialogue is finished, just develop your own reference point for this. You're gonna snipe some people, just park the car right about here, get as far back as you can, and start sniping them one by one in this exact order. I'm not exactly sure if the order matters, but it's just left to right, so it's okay. If you are not sure if you killed someone with a headshot, notice that after every headshot there is blood coming out. The previous shot is difficult because you can only see the tip of his hat, but if you just look closely and aim everything right, you will see some blood splatter coming out of the dude when you shoot him, and that way you know you got him. In case you can't get him and you want to save your run, you can hop into the car, drive up there and kill them yourself, but you should be able to snipe them from there. After 8 Ball reaches his destination, skip the cutscene, perform a mega jump to kill yourself, and respawn back at the hospital, because for the last mission in Portland, we need an ambulance to start the Rampage replay. If you can't get the ambulance, just kill yourself over and over again until you actually get an unlocked ambulance. But bear in mind that you cannot use the taxi or the police car anymore for their submission because they are bugged out. You use them to insta-pass other missions and now they are bugged. So get into the ambulance, drive over to Sal, hold down the caps lock button, that's the submission button, run over towards the marker, start the Rampage replay, let go of the paramedic, wait a few seconds, and you pick up the mission. Skip the cutscene, of course, just hold down sprint, as you can see, spacebar, and jump. This makes your jumps longer. Head over to the Mafia Sentinel and get into one. It's one of the fastest cars that you can get for now, so that's why we're using it. Head over towards Luigi. This is important because that's the reference point. You head over towards Luigi's place until you can see the subway. Turn right at the subway. The objective should update right now, and ignore the brown objective on the map. You have to head towards the pink one. Now this is one of the points in the game when you are going to hear about faking your Portland time, because one of the later missions actually uses the in-game time to determine when is an NPC going to spawn. And remember, by tapping the replay, F3 and F1, or double tap F1, you can stop the in-game time from advancing. You're gonna see in a second. Just count in your head that the seconds in-game, which they're meant to be minutes, but they're seconds, work with a millisecond counter in time. And as you can see, there's 2027 and it wasn't advancing because I was tapping replays. Do that so you can get into the next mission marker before 2057 or whatever hour in-game is and 52. Just count in your head a second, and before you get to 1 second, tap the replay and you will stop the timer from advancing. this is pretty much how it's done. Just keep in mind, you estimate what a second would be and then double tap the replay and do this several times to make sure that you reach the objective before 52 seconds in game. That is the in-game clock, not the Rampage one, but the in-game clock that's supposed to emulate hours and minutes.